Can he cross the line first for Olympic gold? It is Ohno to the line, and it is gold for Ohno!
Apolo Ohno has won more medals than any other American at the Winter Olympics, but it nearly never happened. As a young teenager, he was rebellious and headed down the wrong path.
If it wasn't for sports, I couldn't tell you where I was at. And you can talk to any of my friends from back home, they'd probably say the same thing. Like, I was a crazy kid. You know, I just had a lot of energy, and I didn't have any direction.
Apolo grew up in Seattle. His mother, who was Caucasian, left when he was an infant, so he was raised by his Japanese-born father, Yuki.
My dad gave me every single thing that I needed. He gave me love, he gave me support, he gave me positive direction. I very much so relate with my Asian roots in all aspects, from the food to the people to the culture to the respect to the honor. It's always been a part of my life, both in my philosophy towards my training, both in how I live my life, and just my philosophy inside the ice rink and outside the ice rink.
Encouraged by his father to get into athletics, Apolo chose the then little-known sport of speed skating.
It's a sport that was so vastly different than anything else, but it looked so cool, right? It was so cool in person that when I first saw it, when I went to Canada and I saw these athletes skating, that's when I was like, this is what I want to do. This is specifically, I want to skate like that. It just looked, it like shut out the outside world. So I was in the bubble. Whatever stresses, whatever issues that were going on in my life, once I came to the ice rink, everything else melted away.
At age 14, Apolo became the youngest American champion ever. But before he could achieve Olympic glory, he would have to rededicate himself to the sport.
A lot of people don't know this. I actually tried out for the 1998 Olympic team for Nagano, and I got dead last. The previous year, I was actually #1 in the US. So within 1 year, I went from first place to dead last, and that was devastating.
Once again, it was his father who got him to focus.
He said, look, Apolo, you know, this was after the Olympic trials. He said, look, you need to figure out what it is specifically you want to do with your life, and call me when you're ready. So I spent basically 7-9 days training mindlessly on the west coast of you know, basically right on the ocean, in the Pacific Ocean, called Moclips, an area about 3.5 hours southwest of Seattle. And spent some time there and really had a lot of self-dialogue and found myself, per se. And I was only 15 years old, so it was kind of a reset, and to really ask myself, is this something that I really want to do? And if it is, let's really dedicate myself towards it and not just go through the motions.
With his electrifying performances at Salt Lake City, Turin, and Vancouver, Apolo became the most decorated short-track speed skater in history with 8 Olympic medals, 2 gold, 2 silver, and 4 bronze.
However hard the next guy trained, I wanted to train twice as hard and be twice as tired and still beat him. I wanted to have absolutely 0 regrets after a competition about my performance, win or lose. That's what was driving me, was to be able to have the perfect race regardless of outcome, which is very difficult in a sense, because we're athletes, we're training, we're competing to win. And now looking back on my career, I don't think about myself standing on the podium. I don't think about myself hearing the national anthem. And those times were very special, very, very special in my heart. But I think about the times during training, the 4 years, the 8 years in solitude, behind the curtain, when there's nobody there, when there's no media, when there's just me training alone. It's pretty special.
In 2007, Apolo won again, but this time it was on Dancing with the Stars.
Dancing the Foxtrot, Apolo Anton Ohno and his partner Julianne Hough.
Dancing with the Stars was completely different. It was an arena which I wasn't used to. I was performing under lights, performing live, doing something I wasn't comfortable doing. I had no Latin experience dancing. I had no ballroom dancing experience. I went to the club with my friends and stuff to dance, you know, but nothing like this show. We had gotten to the finals, so I knew there was a good chance that I could possibly win it. And so we just brought all the stops, man. I was very happy with whether I won, whether I got second, third. It was a wonderful experience.
His sense of style, good looks, and charm have made Apolo a rare Asian American male sex symbol, but he doesn't really think about it.
I don't really pay attention to the stereotypes. People could never really figure out what I was, you know. Even today, they're like, what are you? I'm like, half Japanese. They're like, no, really? So it's, you know, I'm a little bit of a chameleon, I guess.
As for competing at the 2014 Winter Olympics, he's still undecided. For now, he's staying busy with several ventures, including charity work and commercials.
Subway, the official training restaurant of Apolo Ohno.
In 2010, he came out with this autobiography.
Zero regrets, be greater than yesterday. And it really is a philosophy on basically how to try and live and train every single day as if it's your last. My life is filled with challenges, opportunities. I'm hungry for more. We have the tools, we have the resources available, which comes from our mind, which is the most important resource, to be all that we want to be. I think the choice is ours. You know, when I was training, we lived by this code, by this creed. We used to say, one world, one life, one chance, your choice. Zero regrets.